Hey everybody, how's it? Hello, this is Jeeps, your old composer here at the Decomposer Lounge, peeling back the layers and dissecting your favorite tracks. And this one is a Patreon pick. This one is called King Buffalo is the name of the band, and the name of the song is Centurion. And so, like I do now, is I actually at least look up the band and see when they started, just so I get a little idea of who they are or where they came from, or at least what their genre is. So apparently they are from Rochester, New York, and it's considered heavy psychedelic rock, which makes sense because when I was doing stoner rock stuff, I was getting a lot of comments that I really had to check out this band. And apparently the band formed in 2013. So I don't know exactly when this song was released, but I do look forward to it. As usual, I want to thank you guys always for your support. Also want to remind you guys, hey, click on the little bell on the subscriber thing, because apparently something's going on with people not getting notifications even if you subscribe. Something like that, I don't know. And thank you, like usual, for all of your support. That's always super badass. And also, finally, I do want to let you guys know that, yes, I do have another channel. People go, hey, I always see, why do I see you, like, doing stuff from Adele or Dua Lipa or Portishead or something? I said, that's because I got another channel. So when you see that, don't worry, I ain't going soft on you guys. I'm just, you know, even though it could be an age thing. No, totally sorry. That was so messed up, like you just said. I just completely ruined the theater of the mind of the beginning of this journey. All right, guys, let's do this. This is King Buffalo, Centurion. All right. I love that the guitar pattern that's being played. There's 3 open notes that are happening that are continuous. One of them are kind of doubled. I can't recall exactly what it is. But what I love about it is really super hypnotic, and I like the fact that it's got a nice reverb on it and stuff, but it's got like an older style kind of, maybe kind of like a really warm chamber kind of reverb to it, so it's not really glassy and super you know, shiny sounding in this kind of, you know, ethereal sound that they want to get from it. But I also love how the guitar does, you know, while they're staying in that one pattern when those, I would say the higher notes are repeating, even though it's in a lower register, how just the bass line in the guitar playing is what's moving around. Da, 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 but it's still doing da, 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 da. So that gets you to kind of lock into some kind of like trance-ish kind of vibe. And then when the drum comes in, I was really listening and really enjoying the engineering of the drum. You know, the kick has a little bit of a reflection on it, which means there's a little bit of ambience, but the snare really soaks it up. And it seems more to be about the overhead mics in the presence of the mix for that, in the sense that Overhead mics, a lot of times, the overhead use will sometimes surpass if each tom-tom and hi-hat and cymbals have drums and stuff. A lot of times you'll have the cymbals and maybe a mic'd hi-hat, but you'll emphasize in the mix raising up the volume of the overheads to give you the depth and the width and the stereo aspect of it. And I love the sound of the bass. You saw me kind of do-do-do-ba-boom, boom. Very hypnotic. This is like that kind of like full-on psychedelic kind of vibe and stuff. And I love the voice, but you know, before I get on with the voice, let's go back a little bit and let me listen to a bunch more here. How they washed us up with that really dark, heavy, fat guitar, you know, just really hard stereo. It sounded like the original guitar kind of, that pattern has dropped out in lieu of the power of the distortion. But here's what I loved would happen. I could tell there was a change coming only by listening to the hi-hat of the drummer. If you listen to that, I think it's like maybe 4 bars where the guitar player's hanging on that same pattern. But listen to how the drummer and the hi-hat, as he's holding his rhythm on the hi-hat, he starts to open his hi-hat a little more, you know, with the foot, by opening the hi-hat, and he starts to increase the velocity just slightly. So we're going from a tight hi-hat to like a slightly tight hi-hat to like a little loose hi-hat, and then it opens and opens and opens and opens. It was like in lieu of a very long tom fill, just about to tell you that there's going to be a big change coming. So they give you that sense that the change coming. We don't know what to expect. I didn't know what to expect, but I knew it was coming just by that one maneuver by the drummer. And then this guitar sound is obviously very... I'm beginning to understand what stoner rock or psychedelic metal-y kind of vibe is and stuff like that. It has to do with just a really trippy journey that this kind of music generates in your mind. And yeah, sure, whatever you might be baked on or something like that, it's gonna play into that. But that's what this thing is. It's very trance-oriented. You know, it's very kind of it's super damn metal spacey. All right, let me go back a little bit and then we'll finish this up. Loved how they finished up on this. You know, while that whole thing was just gliding all the way across, it came to mind that this, to me, sounded like a great end track for a movie. Like just some kind of like, Butch Cassidy and a Sundance Kid kind of vibe. You know, at the end, how that ends and stuff like that. That this seemed like a really great track for an end credits kind of a thing in that kind of nature. I guess so. That whole 2 minutes of just getting us into that whole flow. They did end up doing things which, since I don't know what the size of the band is or what they do on recording versus in live, there were a couple of things and other arrangements that added to this kind of broader, powerful kind of. And when I say washed out, I'm just saying it's just all these really long connected chords that are being played. There's no muting going on. No, it's just rah, rah. You know, it's just boom. And then the notes are being hung out until the next, you know, strum or the next chord is coming out there. So it's very washed out in the sense that it's just all whole notes or half notes that are just all connected all the way through. And then the tones of the guitar along with the reverbs that give you that kind of, like I said, that kind of trance sensation. But I like the way they just cut right back into a really super clean tone just to kind of give you that like, okay, everybody, come down. if you were in your 20-minute trip at that point, you know, you were just coming on, it's almost like saying, oh, okay, this is when I got to start replaying. But I love that. Thank you guys very much for turning me on to King Buffalo, and I definitely look forward on cruising through more. I know you guys are going to give me more suggestions. Once again, this was a Patreon pick. Thank you so much for your support on Patreon, and also the support, people buying coffee and stuff like that. It's always so appreciated. Don't forget to, you know, if you don't click on the bell for notifications, please do that. If unless maybe I'm putting out too many videos, and you go, no, I'll just come and I'm gonna come to your channel and just like a buffet when I can, because you just keep loading up so much work. But I just love what I'm doing. So, you know, I can't help it. I'm just having the best time ever. All right, guys, thanks for everything. Aloha. All right.